Hi guys, Mark here. Welcome. In today's tutorial, we're tying a flag-themed braided paracord bracelet. To begin our project, we're going to grab 3 feet of Paracord 550, fold it in half, take your folded piece of cord, hook it, then twist the 2 ends into a single piece of 2-stranded rope. So this twisted piece of rope is going to serve as the cord for our bracelet. Take the left end, twist it towards the left, pass it over the right end. Take the new left end, twist it towards the left, pass it over the right end. And again, the left end, twist it towards the left, pass it over the right end. Keep repeating the same process until you get a length slightly longer than what you want your bracelet to be. So a few more twists. Then to secure the 2 ends, I'm simply going to tape them up. So the cord for our bracelet. Optionally, insert a rope thimble into the loop at the top. We next prepared 3 pieces of microcord in the flag color of our choice. These pieces are 4 feet long each. We also prepared a single piece of Paracord 550 and we pull out the guts, getting a flatter cord. Again, this cord is 4 feet long. To prepare our cords for braiding, we fold our piece of 550 paracord in half. This creates a bight. Grab your 3 pieces of microcord, arrange them into the color sequence that you would like. At the middle point of your 3 pieces of microcord, pass them through the bight, essentially in an over one, under one sequence. Then grab the 3 ends at the top, weave them through the bight, under, over. This creates our initial setup, which we're going to use to plait over the cord. We now plait over our cord using the 4-stranded round braid. As you can see, at the start here, the process is very delicate since you want all of the cords to stay lined up. Once you get going, the process gets faster. Make sure to braid tightly. So the sequence here is very simple. We pass with the top set behind, in between the set on the other side, then back to our original side to the bottom. Then we do the same thing on the other side. So the top set passes in between the two sets on the other side, then back to the bottom on the original side. As mentioned, braid tightly, tightening up your sets as much as you can. When we've done a sufficient length of plating for our bracelet, we're going to secure the ends here at the bottom using a binding. For our binding, we're going to be using a piece of thread. It is about 1.5 feet to 2 feet long. I'm going to place my thread like this, so I have a short end at the bottom, a long end at the top. Using the long end, I'm going to form a loop. I'm going to place the loop over the top of my bracelet, tightening up what is essentially a hitch. Then simply repeat a number of times. So a loop, pass it over the top of our bracelet, tying the second hitch. And again, a loop, pass it over. Do this a number of times. So after a number of times, there is no specific number. What you will want to do is tie the two ends together. Here I'm going to be using the reef knot. I then trim the two ends, melt them, and my binding is complete. Next, I trim all of the ends next to the binding, except the two middle ones which are taped up. I do a bit of light melting. This completes the binding part here. I'm going to remove my tape here and tie a stopper knot. I now tie a stopper knot using my 2 core strands, in our case the Matthew Walker knot. Tighten up a little bit. Move the bottom strand here over the top one, shaping up your Matthew Walker knot. Tighten up by pulling on the ends. Like this. After tightening up your knot, trim the 2 ends. Melt them. If you're using a rope thimble, make sure that your knot fits through it. If it doesn't, simply flatten it out a little bit. To tie the 2 decorative knots, which are going to cover the start as well as the end of our plate, we're going to be using 2 pieces of Paracord 550, each about a foot long. The inner strands were removed out of these 2 pieces. Optionally, you can also use a lacing needle. The knot that we're tying is a 3-part 4-bite Turk's head. It is tied directly onto our bracelet, both at the spot of our binding as well as the start of our plate. Here is a quick recap on how to tie the 3-part 4-bite Turk's head. When you place your working end next to the standing one, you have tied your knot. Now for the purposes of using this knot, we're going to slide our working end a bit deeper like this, and this completes our knot. Now let's do this directly onto our bracelet. Once the knot is tied, place it to the spot where you want it, then tighten it up, starting at the standing end, going through the knot, pulling the slack into the working end. Do this tightening process at least 2 times to get a really tight knot. When done, trim as well as melt the 2 ends. Repeat on the other side. As the very final step, I'm going to roll my bracelet to even it out a bit more. This is completely optional. Guys, a sincere thank you for joining me today. This sort of a bracelet is simple, but it takes a bit of work to do. See ya next time.